Greetings, Butterfly Tribe. Welcome back to The Way You See Me Heart Healing Ministry. Today we're going to resume with healing childhood trauma. Yesterday I left off on speaking on the summer between my 8th grade and 9th grade years. So I would have been 13 years old. I talked about how my mom and my stepfather separated. My mother lost her job. We lost our home. We are now living in one of my uncle's houses. And I spoke to you about starting to date a guy. I was 13, he was 16. So here we are in 9th grade. I can remember starting school, and it was crazy because my mom and my stepfather would always use the summer before school, and they would put our clothes on layaway, pay on it throughout the summer, and make sure that we had our school clothes and supplies when the school year started. Well, I told you my mom lost her job, and my stepfather, I believe, had told her he would get the clothes, but he didn't get it. He didn't get anything out. So I don't even know what we started school with. I just know that that's when the struggle began. My mother was now on government assistance, welfare and food stamp program, and she did, the best she could, I guess. But we went without a lot of basic things at this point. I went from sharing a bedroom with my sister to us all living in what I believe was one room of my uncle's house. Sports had a whole different meaning in my life now. I play sports now, I always wanted to. I tried out for the volleyball team before the end of my 8th grade year and made the high school volleyball team. And the coach of my volleyball team was also a member of the church that I was attending, that I grew up in. And I excelled in sports, but I was only given probably extra time to sports because I just really didn't want to be at home. It was my escape, that I escaped from life between the boyfriend who had a car and sports. So I lived in what I would now look back and call a fantasy, where I escaped reality or created this make-believe happiness that I was enduring because I wasn't dealing with the hurt I was feeling, the confusion that I was feeling, I mentioned in the last one about my mother's addiction, and all of this is new. And at first, we didn't know of her addiction. We just saw her changing before our eyes. And then we began to see the evidence of what was going on. I was 13, my brother was 11, my baby sister was 9. I tried my best to protect them from what was going on in our lives and try to make things as normal as I possibly could for them. I made sure they went to school. I helped them with homework. And I included them in things, even though, like, if I was going to stay the night, it was always a known that if I went to stay the night somewhere, my mom would always say, you have to take your sister. But I started spending more and more time away from the home front, because that's how I coped with, with watching my mom just kind of change before my eyes. Fast forward, volleyball is going well. I started high school volleyball, the only freshman, but I started high school volleyball, and I was known. My name, my ability on the volleyball court was known. I was trouble. And I'm not bragging, that was a strong point for me. That's where I hid myself. That's where I escaped. That's how I released all the negativity that I was feeling inside, was in sports. Basketball was the same. I didn't start, but my best friend and I, we received a lot of playing time as freshmen. We played freshman, junior varsity, and varsity to get the experience, but we had great playing time. And then track was the same. I was a sprinter and a jumper, so I did the long jump and triple jump. I did the 100 and 200, and I did the 4x2 and 4x1. So you can only do 4 events, but every track meet I was in 4 events to help my team. And we would compete for what we would do, like the sprinting. We would have competitions in practice. So that was high school. Here we are, and I still walked around with my innocence until I was 14. I can still remember the experience, and I can still remember the emptiness that I felt after. I felt dirty, and for the first time in my life, I felt separated from the Most High. I don't know how to describe it, but I just felt different. And so with that being said, I'm going to just go right into 15, because all of this runs together like so crazy. So 14, I turned 14 in 9th grade. No big changes going from 9th and 10th grade. Still sports, still other activities, church events. I was still active in church, but the relationship with the Father was different. So at the age of 15, which would have been the end of my 10th grade, going into my 11th grade year. So I would have gotten pregnant probably in January-ish, December, January. I was so afraid to tell my mother that I was pregnant. And when I told the Father, his question to me was, let me go back to the words that I want to express for the young ladies. If you love me, you would do it. And because So many people have misrepresented love. I didn't want to, but I did. I did. But those words, if you love me, you would. Young ladies, you should never have to prove your love to someone by disproving your love for yourself or the Creator. I should have loved myself enough to say no and to stand firm on what my belief was and what I wanted to do. But because I feared losing someone else, I lowered those standards, and I did it. I gave away a part of myself that I held sacred to prove that I loved someone. And I didn't even know what love was then. Let's just be honest about it. What 14-year-old knows what love is in that sense? I didn't know what love was. I didn't even have self-love looking back.